Well, welcome again to Presbyterian Polity. This video is just a little bit about the structure of the class and the kinds of things that we will be covering. We really have three broad purposes in doing this class. The first is to prepare you to take the standard ordination exam on church polity for the Presbyterian Church USA. There are 5 exams that you must pass to be ordained in the Presbyterian Church. One of them is the Bible content exam. That's a multiple choice exam. The other 4 are writing exams that are taken online in various ways. The exegesis exam has you work with either a New Testament or Old Testament passage and then do an explication of that passage and then a sermon outline. The other 3 exams, the theology exam, the worship and sacraments exam, and the church polity exam, are exams where you will work with case studies and respond to them, and then those are graded. And I can respond. Well, actually, we'll talk more towards the end of the class about the structure of those exams. But in this class, we want to prepare you to take that exam. We'll do that in a couple of ways. One is that each week there'll be a case study. Most of those case studies will be old church polity exam case studies, and then I'll be able to give you feedback on how to answer them and help you practice doing those things. And then there will be 2 exams, a midterm exam and a final exam. Both of those will have questions from the church polity exam, and then I'll give you official feedback and a grade. So hopefully with that, you will be increasingly prepared to take the church polity standard ordination exam. So that's one thing we want to do. The other thing we want to do is provide you with practical skills in church leadership, particularly in the Presbyterian Church context. So the better you know the Book of Order and the better and more facile you are with Robert's Rules and other forms of group leadership, the better prepared you will be prepared in terms of practical leadership for the Presbyterian Church USA. And so we will work on a number of those types of skills in this class. The third thing we want to do is equip you for leadership in a rapidly changing cultural context. We know that the way churches are in the North American context is changing. This cultural context is shifting rapidly, and everything we do wants to prepare all of us to be able to engage in that. That means that we learn the technical skills of church leadership according to Presbyterian polity, but also we learn how to use those tools in more adaptive ways. And much of what we'll do heads in that direction as well. So by the end of this class, my goal is for you to be prepared to take the church polity standard ordination exam, to be able to use a number of technical tools and skills in church leadership, and to have learned adaptive ways to utilize Presbyterian polity in a rapidly changing cultural context. In terms of this class, there is reading to do every week, and then I will respond and use those readings in the presentations that I do to you and ask you to reflect on them and work together as a class in understanding them and asking questions about things that you don't understand. The primary texts for this class are the Book of Confessions and the Book of Order. They are the most important books that you have in this class that will go on with you into ministry. There are a number of other books that I have asked you to get. There's a book by Joan Gray and Joyce Tucker on Presbyterian leadership and Presbyterian polity that's very helpful in getting to know the Book of Order and how to use it. I've also asked you to get a book by Dan Hotchkiss on governance and ministry that helps us understand a broader context of how boards work and ways that they can be grown towards more effective and more faithful work. I've asked you to get Robert's Rules of Order. We will engage in not all of that book. It's a tremendously thick book, but it's important for you to have it on hand as you engage in ministry and leadership. And I've asked you to get Todd Bolsinger's Canoeing the Mountains, which is a book on church leadership that sets all of what we're going to do here in a broader context and helps us know how this particular work will inform your preparation for ministry more broadly. I think all these books can work together to help you prepare. In terms of assignments, there'll be a quiz every week that's an open book quiz. You are welcome to use the Book of Order and Book of Confessions. It'll always be around those two books, and it'll ask you to make sure that you're engaging and understanding the content of those books. There's two exams. There's a midterm exam and a final exam. Both of those exams will have old questions from the church ordination or church polity ordination exams, so that you can practice engaging in them. There's a paper to write that's a reflection on polity. You're to find your own encounter with Presbyterian polity and write about that. You can see in the first section on the Moodle site more instructions about that. Ask me with any questions. And the other thing, of course, in terms of grading is class participation. So doing the forums and being engaged in all that we do as a class. You know, my expectations are that you engage in the class, that you ask questions, that you, of course, work hard, and that you enjoy it. I think this can be really enjoyable work for us to do together, and I think that you and I can learn quite a bit. The reading is quite heavy at the beginning. That helps set the context for it, and then it drops off some towards the middle and picks up just a little bit at the end. If you're feeling overwhelmed by that, don't feel free to check with me. The most important texts for you to engage are the Book of Confessions and the Book of Order. In terms of the Book of Confessions, I don't have you read all of every confession, although you'll need to do that at some point as you prepare for the Theology and Worship exam, and also to use all of our resources theologically and polity-wise for your ministry. We'll engage mainly in the sections of the Book of Confessions that help us understand its implications for our polity. I'm looking forward to working with you on this class. I think that Presbyterian Polity has the resources to help guide ministry, that we can do faithful and effective ministry in today's world, and I think we're going to learn a lot together over this class.